So I was honored to have this opportunity to share with you this morning some highlights of our service in Athens, Greece, and in Albania, because we are Albanians both. I will explain more. And I want to thank the elders for giving us this honor to share our service with you. And thank you for sharing your service with us, because we serve the same Lord in different places. So we serve with Athens International Bible Institute, which is a branch of Sunset School of Preaching in Lubbock, Texas. Probably heard of them. And with Evru Church of Christ in Athens as a congregation where we serve. So let me start by introducing ourselves. This is Sonila, S-O-N-I-L-A, Sonila. My wife, and the ugly guy is me. So we are both born and raised in Albania. And as Isaac said, a very communist country. Sonila has a degree for teaching degree for elementary school. I have a biochemistry degree and advanced biblical studies degree. So biochemistry degree in a communist country and then advanced biblical studies degree, which is kind of strange. Tell you about the story. So we have been baptized and getting married the same day. Been baptized in the morning and having our, marriage ceremony in the evening. So we had our two greatest covenants of life in the same day. So it's very special for us. 12 May 1996. So this is our children, Andrew and Christina. So you can tell who is the ugly of the house now. Both born and raised in Mission Field in Athens, Greece. Andrew is a graduate of Lipscomb, majoring in applied biochemistry and Masters of Business Administration. He works for Lipscomb now. He started last week. Christina majored last year in applied biochemistry too, and started her PharmD this year. What's important for them is not their degrees or their education. What's important is they're both faithful to the Lord. They attended Krefeld Church of Christ, and I thank the Krefeld family for being there for them. I want to thank, Don and Lynn for having us in their home. Thank you so much. So let's start with COVID. The world changed with COVID. Things that we took for granted, things that we knew that will never happen, did happen during COVID. So let's start with the negatives for COVID first. Greece had a total of 188 days of lockdown, 6 months and more. When I say lockdown in Greece, let me explain you what the lockdown in Greece was like. If you wanted to go to the supermarket, you had to send an SMS to the government, and the government will give you permission to go to the supermarket or not. 188 days. We had, after this lockdown finished, and we had 26 months of restrictions in the church. The requirement from the church that we had to have 15 square meters, which is in square feet, 161 square feet per person in our gatherings. In the public transportations, in the movie theaters, in the disco clubs, people were packed like sardines. Coming in the church, they asked for 161 square feet per person. So who did this? We know the answer. So we came to our physical worship only after 26 months, March 2020 to May 2022. What about the school? Pre-COVID, December, we had 67 registered students studying the Word of God. September 2022, 15. Of course, we had 3 graduations, but in 2 successive academic years, we shrunk by 70% through Zoom. And I'm glad we had the Zoom because we survived through Zoom. So in 2 successive academic years, we had only 4 new students registered, which is our worst records of all years. We had only last month 3 being, registered with the school, and only 2 families have not come back after the COVID restrictions in the church with, elderly people who are sick. So as I said, we had 3 graduations during this time, and of course, there are 14 students who left, but really, we had a very bad time with COVID, shrinking. Positives. What are the positives about COVID? First, we made it. We're here. By God's grace, the pandemic came to an end. We are still here. The school in Athens is still functional, even through going all through difficulties. We did not lose focus, and by God's grace, we are still teaching in Athens, preparing servants of Jesus in Athens. All the students, all the members of the church, they got sick, infected with COVID, but we had no deaths among us. So, another positive. Zoom became our regular way of teaching. I didn't even know I never heard the word Zoom before in my life. Suddenly, it became the way we lived with. During Zoom sessions, I had students attending from Belgium, Italy, Germany, Sweden, and Ghana. So you can do this in Athens with a physical presence, but we had students from all over the world. Last September, we had, 4 souls accepted Jesus in Crete, and all the teaching was done through Zoom. We'll talk more about this. So let me start, and we'll go real fast. I have too much information to share with you. We'll start with our service with Every Church of Christ in Athens, where we serve as full-time ministers, missionaries. And we are full-time with the church and with the school. And we have started our service with the congregation since 1996. So even that we had all these difficulties that we discussed, this is our church meetings look like for 26 months, Zoom. But thank God we are back. We are back in our home Bible studies, and this is our Albanian. We are Albanian, both of us, so we have a group, Albanian-speaking group in the church. This is every Friday. Or our English Bible studies. This is at Peter's. We'll talk more about this. We had new baptisms. So this is Dita Sulavari from Albania, member of our weekly Albanian Bible study group. This is her sister Dori. And this is last month. This is Justina Ekeke, first-year student of our school, being baptized for the remission of sins from Peter. Now, let me share with you a little bit this story of Crete. And this is very important for me. I really, I cannot point, I cannot point with this, but this girl here, the little girl in the front, is our daughter. And the boy in the last one is our son, Andrew. So this picture was taken in 2004. The boy next to Andrew, his name is Sianis. The boy who is standing, his name is Isis, And the girl who is next to Christina, her name is Fenya. What happened to this? This is the last picture that these kids had with us in the church. The mother of Yanis and Zisis, the boys, is a major in the Greek army forces, and she was transferred to the island of Crete. Her sister, the mother of Fenya, went with her, and since 2004, they moved to Crete when there is no church. We visited them in 2009 because Yanis, the first boy, he had an accident in a pool, swimming pool, and he was left paralyzed. So we visit with them in Crete, but no church in Crete, so they were suffering away from the church. And for all the practical reasons, even that we have phone calls, discussions with them, I was afraid that these kids were in the world now. These kids are not kids anymore. Yanis, the first one, he is 30 years old, paralyzed, but an MD. He studied medicine, medical doctor. The second one, this is 27. He's engineer for boats and mechanic for boats. Fenya, this baby next to Christina, she is 25 now, and she is studying physical sciences in Crete. So I received how do you call it in Facebook? A friend request? Friend request, good. So a friend request from Fenya. And I haven't talked to Fenya like 2004. Okay, I will accept this friendship request. And immediately comes a message, says, I have a friend, she said, that is a student with me in Crete, and he wants to know more about Jesus saying that the time is near, and I'm coming quickly in the book of Revelation. And she said, I could not explain. I said, well, Mr. Beni will explain it to you. And she will connect me with her friend, Marius. I started studying with Zoom with Mario, and then Yanis, Zisis, and Fenya joined the group, and we studied for 2 or 3 months. September, praise the Lord, they said we are ready to be baptized for the remission of our sins. So we had to go in Crete, and we had a problem. Don't forget, Yanis, the doctor, he's paralyzed, his wheelchair. So what was their solution? A baby's pool. We could not go anywhere else, not in the sea. So we used this for the baptism of them, and this is the baptism of Yanis here. You see the doctor. This year, the baptism of Zisis, his brother. And in case you are wondering if the water was enough for them to be inside the water, here. So they were covered with the water. And this is the baptism of Maria and baptism of Fenya. Of course, a lot of hugs, wonderful moments. So what I see there, I see the Church of the Lord in Crete. I don't see 4 people who were baptized. I see the church in Crete. It's a city of 600,000 people without church. And the church just started again. It's a city that Paul left Titus. And we had no church. So the church is there now, thank God. They're getting together every Sunday. I'm having with them this Zoom, again Zoom Bible studies every Wednesday. And we are planning to visit them at least once a month to encourage them and to study with the boys some leadership and knowing Jesus better, church growth, study guides, and even to give them some exams. So this is the Church in Crete project. It shows us the greatness of God. Always in my mind, these kids were not anymore connected to the church, but the word was there. worked with them. 17 years later, 18 years later, they came to Jesus. So when we go about this VBS and doing things with the kids, I know they are little monsters, but if they remember for the rest of their life, John 3:16, everything is worth it. So we are back in our regular church life. This is, Mother's Day in Athens with the Greek congregation, ladies with the English speaking. We have two congregations, okay? Greek speaking and English speaking. Greek speaking is made of Greeks and Albanians generally, and English speaking is made of Africans, Filipinos, all nationalities, real international. So, and again, this is the Albanian group in Avru. These are our teens of the church with Andrew and Christina last year. So Nila is back in her routine again, preparing and helping the church. We'll say more about this. I am back in my routine, teaching and preaching with the church. This is an interesting story about them. I will not share all of it, but they are Egyptians, and he's a preacher in an evangelist church, Egyptian, Arabic-speaking evangelist church. And we're working with him and his wife and the kids. And by converting them, then the whole congregation will follow. So this is another project we're working. His name is Kamal Duma, a nice man, that now he has seen the truth in the Bible. So Nila is still having her children classes or ladies groups. And here is our daughter Christina with the teens in the church classes. So let me tell you some about sharing our ministry with the Church of Christ in Albania, in Korça, where we are from. So we serve in Athens, we serve in Albania. And let's talk about this VBS. VBS are very important to me, really. Not of my participation. My participation usually in VBS is I teach, the members of the team, so the chapel in the morning, and babysitting. And this, you can see what we, the preachers, know to do the best is to put people to sleep. The baby's just... So, again, this is our son, Andrew, and Gary Hall from Krefeld and Lipscomb University. No comments in this one. They are so sweet. This is the team. This is like 3 years ago team we had in Albania. And then we have Sonila during VBS, Christina and Sonila preparing this year materials for the VBS and teaching during the VBS in Albania. Christina. And what we do, we have all these kids in Albania during the VBS week preparing a show, a theater show. And then at the last day, we invite all the parents and who will not come to see their kids playing in a show. And what we do, we make contacts with all the parents. And when we leave as a VBS team, the church has all this group of people to work with. So they are introduced in the church. They're introduced to Jesus through these kids. And these are the missionaries in Korça, Albania. This is a great ministry they have in Korça with through the blind community. These are blind members of the church. They have no physical sight, but they have spiritual sight. They have Jesus. My father is 100% blind, so I'm very sensitive about this group of people. It's my mom and father, my dad. Mom died like 2 years ago, and my father is still in Korça, Albania. So we teach, we preach in Albania. This is the baptistry they use in Albania. And it's a good group of churches of Christ in Albania. These are the preachers last October meeting we had in Rome, or this is in Albania like 4 years ago. Albania, don't forget that you were arrested or executed in Albania from 69 to 91 for having a religious book in your home. And now there are 26 churches of Christ in Albania. This is the power of God. So what we see is the human history. It's not. It's God spreading his word. And we are his tools. So we serve also with, as I told you, with Athens, Greece. So this is some of the VBS in Athens, Greece. Again, our daughter Christine. And this is a very interesting picture. Christine here is in the middle. She's teaching in 3 languages because the kids there speak 3 languages: English, Greek, and Albanian. And she's teaching in the VBS, and it was so international. I was said, wow, this is great. And again, so you have some pictures from the VBS in Albania. And this is Sonila with Francis. Anyway, so Greece is entering this 11th year of financial crisis. And in the moment that it seemed that things were going better, then COVID came and everything went back. The Greek government says that the numbers are better, but you don't see it in life. So we have been serving the members of our church and the students who are not working, and we have an unemployment rate of almost 90% among the English-speaking congregation and the students. And we have this relief program, which is a huge program, but has helped a lot during all these years to keep the school and the church running with help to the saints. So how we do it? First, buying the items. This is our Prius, which is considered a small car here. So you have already a full car and 2 other cars to go there. How do you do it? Like this. So sometimes this Prius will take more than a truck. So we'll take it to the church building. Then we will store all these items there. This is Sonila's classroom for the kids. This is how it looks like during distribution days. And then we go and refrigerate what is needed to be refrigerated. We divide the food items. And here is Sonila and Peter working during the preparation process. This is Peter's wife, Peace, working. It's always a teamwork during the preparation. Then they are divided in portions. This is the entrance of our church. And this is how it looks during the distribution days. And this is from the other angle. So last step, distributing the help. Most of our members, they don't have cars, so we drive to them. And we take the food to every house. It is always a teamwork. And this is a teamwork where our members, when our graduates, will find a way to serve. So it's not something that Sonila and myself were running. No, this is a teamwork. Jesus is running it. We are all servants. So I love this picture. This is from the last May. Sonila, Chibuzor, Kayode, Peter, Tina, and Beni. What a blessing. Our service with Athens International Bible Institute. And so I was told that I can stay here as long as I want. Yeah, but don't forget, I come from a place when the preachers will preach till people will start falling off the windows. So stay away from the windows and please stay with me. By the way, the name of Ευτυχώς in Greek means the one with the good luck. So it was the good luck for him falling off the window or because Paul was there to resurrect him. Service with Athens International Bible Institute. I told you this is a branch of Sunset, Lubbock, Texas. And we have 115 graduates during this 23 years of the school existing in Athens. As you see, we call this the Hall of Fame. There are 23 graduation pictures there. So what happened with these graduates? 31 congregations in 20 different nations are served with preachers from our school. A small school with very, very, very small budget. God can do miracles. So nations served: Greece, Albania, Romania, Bulgaria, Russia, Germany, Belgium, Spain, Denmark, France, England, Netherlands, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Congo, Ethiopia, Kenya, Ukraine, and Pakistan. Others are still with us in Athens, mainly with Every Church of Christ, but in other congregations, they have been served with preachers from this school. So what is the purpose of the school? To create qualified servants of Jesus. Of course, we give a bachelor degree, but the bachelor degree is not the purpose. The qualified servant of Jesus is the purpose. 100% of the graduates are baptized for the remission of sins. And you say, well, this is a school of preaching. Yes, it's not a requirement for you to be a member of the Church of Christ or a believer to be a member of the school. I believe the word has its own power. It happened to me. It happens to everyone. Let me share you very briefly our story, how we were converted. In 95, Sonila came to join me in Greece. I was in Greece already working, just wanting to earn some money to have surgery for my blind father. So she came, she visited for 2 weeks only. You can tell we are still in these 2 weeks. She never went back. So our co-worker, Dino, and his wife, Mata, were visiting, at that time, Korcha, our city. And so Nila's family said, we have a small package of clothing for her because she took on clothes only for 2 weeks and we had no money to buy other clothes. Anyway, so they'll send this package of clothing to us. And Dino visited us and I said, what do you do for a living? He says, I'm a preacher. I said, is this a job? Can someone live by preaching? I was working with a moving company at the time. Anyway, I told Dino, we can discuss together sports, football, the real football, not American football, politics, anything. Just don't tell me about God. It's a fairy tale for uneducated people, please. I studied biochemistry. I know Darwin, I know evolution, I know species, I know, please. Well, he said, well, I respect this. And when he went away, he just left New King James in my table. And we met for other time, just discussing different things. And I wanted to find out through his book that God does not exist. A very wrong move for an atheist. So for like 6 months, I was trying to find different parts, and I was shocked by the prophecies of David for Jesus. Shocked. Anyway, long story short, we start studying with Sonila, finding, and I believe that there is power in the Word of God, that anyone who goes with an open heart will find his answer. God has power. So we were baptized and married in the same day. This is our story, how we're convinced. Anyway, so I was called by when the school moved in our building in 2001, I was invited by the dean of that time, Brother Jim Stamatis, to be with him and to study, the Word of God. And I said, well, I've been preaching for like 4 years. I know the Bible. Why do I need a school? Usually ignorance comes with arrogance. They go together. So I would, thank God he insisted. And I went through the school. Then I started teaching for the school in 2005. And then we became the deans of the school in 2010. And I'm serving as a dean since then. I'm teaching, one of the prominent teachers there. Anyway, so I am a product of the school, because every school, you can understand, but what are the graduates doing? Okay, good. So let's see some other graduates. I'll go real fast. This is my coworker, Peter. He is one of the teachers now in Athens, and his wife, Peace. Peter is a graduate of 2014, and they were married back in October 2015. They have two lovely daughters, Chukwamaka and Chika. And this is Chukwamaka. They're so sweet. And Peter, he's a great evangelist. He is a great preacher. He is a great teacher. He is a product, a graduate of our school. So very evangelistic among people from Africa, very evangelistic among all of them. There's a baptism of Justin from Germany. He is such a great asset for Athens right now, and he is a production of our school. God is doing great work. Meet Victor Babaola, Nigeria, a graduate of 2006. After finishing the school, I invited him because he was a very good teacher to teach in the school and with the church, very evangelistic. And he decided in 2015 to go back in Africa, from Athens to Africa. And what he did, he found, this is the house of his grandmother who was abandoned. Look at this house. He renovated all of it, and he started a school of preaching there. Very evangelistic. He will go in open spaces, build his podium, and start preaching the gospel everywhere. He will baptize people in the rivers. And he has a baptistry in his own house to baptize people. And I like their church building. Church of Christ in Ibakun meets here. Look at the church building behind. Victor, Nigeria, one of our graduates. Rosemary, Kenya, a graduate of 2017. She was baptized in September 2016. And she started a ministry to the refugees in Athens by herself. She would take, food that we're distributing through the religious relief program. And she had a family of 5 to feed. She will cook half of it for her family, and half will take it to the refugees in the street. We noticed her service. We jumped in at sunset, and this is how her relief center looks like during working days. We'll go, this is Andrew, her son, cooking there. Yeah, funny Andrew, you can tell. And they will prepare food, and they go in the, open spaces and share the food with the refugees. And you can see there are all kinds of ages served there, outside the building and inside the building center. Also, we have some English classes for the refugees, and we are using some WEI materials, World English Institute, to teach them English through the Bible, children classes, computer classes. Rosemary, another graduate of Athens. Sylvester, Pakistan, a graduate of 2019. A very interesting story, arrested by the police of Greece, the Greek police, in the island of Kos, among others, refugees, for the only reason he could speak Greek and Urdu. Sorry, English and Urdu. So the Greek police wanted a translator without paying him, so they arrested him. He was, when they took it to court, he was declared innocent. His story of life, he was a Catholic priest in Pakistan. Strange enough, he started studying the Bible. And he found out that what they were teaching was not in the Bible. So he moved to the denominational movement in Pakistan, and because of this, he was persecuted. So he went to Greece. where he was arrested and put in jail. And this is where we met him. We have a prison ministry. When he came out of the jail, the first thing he did, he was baptized for the remission of sins and registered in our school. Very, very evangelist spirit. He works, this is his house, studying. And we were praying for a door open to Pakistani people, 200,000 of them in Athens right now. And God opened the door. Teaching and preaching, here is Peter in his family. And look at this. This is the Pakistani embassy in Greece, and he's teaching and preaching there. Using his balcony of his house, using the terrace of his house, baptizing Pakistani people, Pakistani and Indian people, the baptism of Poonam and Vikram from India, very evangelistic. Now he is translating study guides from English to Urdu for Sunset. Again, another result of our work. Come on. I'll take only 4 minutes more, okay? Please. Kamran, another Pakistani. The story with him is strange. He's a graduate of November 2020, and I received a phone call from the lady with the glasses, Beth Richard, from Arizona. She was serving with the immigrants in Greece in an island, and she said, I have someone for your school. I said, great, Beth. I said, but we have a problem. Tell me. He cannot read and he cannot write in English. I said, well, we have a bachelor degree here. How can you bring someone who cannot read and write and put it in our school? So we discussed and discussed and discussed. And finally, what we decided that she would work with Kamran about his reading and writing skills. And I would have Kamran sitting in the class without doing any question or participating for 1 year. So he will be accommodated with how school works. The first test that he takes in reading and writing, he scores like a first grade. And he was 37 at that time. After 6 months, he'll take another test, and he scored like a 6th grade student. I know. So finally, he came to the school, and he was, living with Sylvester. Remember Sylvester? They were sharing the same room. Very good friends, and Sylvester was a very good tutor to him. So finally, he graduated from our school. It was interesting to see how we would do the memory work for him. I would open an Urdu Bible. I don't know Urdu, but it was in Latin letters, and he will say to me, and I will read it in Urdu. I go, what did you say? Again, what did you say? And I say, come on, Mr. Beni, I'm saying it right. You cannot hear it. Anyway, so it was done. So what he did, he was very, very evangelistic to teaching among his Pakistani people in Athens, baptizing them for the remission of sins, and he decided to go back in Pakistan. He said, I want to go back in my province. There are 37,000 people who cannot read and write. He said, I will go and teach them the true gospel of Jesus. And this is what he did. He is preaching and teaching in Pakistan. And this is the congregation there that he's serving. He was married to Anne from Arizona, and they have a baby. So Kamran in Pakistan, another graduate of Athens. And I will finish with this in Wahid Behari from Iran. Graduated on November 2021. He was supported by this couple in Tennessee, Nashville. Very evangelistic, especially among people of his own age. Very, very evangelistic. And you can tell why. Great potential there. So we use this potential to train him. And now we are in the process of having broadcasting online in Farsi that we'll have it like 24 hours per day, and he will do the preaching and the teaching in Farsi so people will hear the word of Jesus through him. So Wahid, Another graduate of Athens. This is the work we do with Athens International Bible Institute and every Church of Christ. And I said from the beginning, I don't want anyone to take merit for this. It is God. If God is not for it, we can't do anything. If God is for it, we can do everything and we go in obedience. God bless you all and thank you.